to set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
Oh my god, it's almost the week of my AKAPAD. So I love it when my fiance and I, the love of my life, I love it when we have our cute coffee mornings and it's Thursday becomes Friday Junior. And that's what today's feel like. It's 70 degrees already here in Philadelphia, PA, and I can't wait to go outside. But we got work to do, and some of that work is Christy 2025. This movie comes to us as a loaded gun. Let me tell you my memories of this. Yeah, I mean it's recent history, but let me tell you what I remember of this movie. That's more accurately phrased. I remember a couple clips from CNN and MSNBC, and I believe even The View, gloating that this movie failed because this girl, Sydney Sweeney, who around this time had a American Apparel or American Eagle, Aeropostale, Hollister. She had an ad with one of these teeny bopper clothing lines talking about her jeans, and people took that to the bank. Now, given like some of it could be a double innuendo or like a wink wink nod nod, it doesn't matter. I think from a advertisement position and the social media backlash, we have to honor that outrage advertising is a thing. We see Disney do it. We saw them do it throughout the entire live action Snow White campaign. And keep in mind too, if some of that worked for Disney, we would have had the live action remake of Snow White titled with Disney's 100th anniversary. And they didn't tie the two together. And actually, through Disney's 100th anniversary, that storyline for the company faded as the year went on. The year that was envisioned for Sydney Sweeney, let's just say a calendar year of releases, would be a insane ad campaign that went viral, took over the internet. People still talk about it. So now she's attached to one of the most significant ad campaigns in our time. Christy comes out. Oscar run for Christy. Launches a lingerie line. We have Housemaid. And then we have Euphoria Season 3. This is the Sydney Sweeney block. Now, here's a crazy thing. I know a lot of people like to talk about her looks. To me, she's an absolute, like, middle. She's a middle of the road. It doesn't mean she has, she doesn't have a look. I think she definitely has a look. She has like a filmable. She's good on camera. Like her look shows up well on camera. But to me, she's not, as Andy Warhol would describe, a beauty. To me, someone like Jessica Biel, and I was just watching her in this movie called London, where you can't describe why that person is so good looking. It's no different than Austin Butler. I was recently watching the Elvis movie. You can't describe why Austin Butler is so good looking. He just is. To me, there's like an elevation when you call someone a beauty. I don't consider Sydney Sweeney, and I'm using Andy Warhol's logic here, as a beauty, but she is a shootable person when it comes to the camera. So this movie was supposed to have like launched this magnificent year for her. And here's what happens with the movie. Sydney Sweeney, and I hate that we have to breach this because we're here to talk about movies. Sydney Sweeney is labeled a Yahtzee by the press. She's labeled a white supremacist, and I could be paraphrasing a little bit or misquoting a little bit, but effectively the guy from Germany that started the World War II, by the way, she is grouped with that. And then you watch this movie, and it is nothing but feminism, LGBTQ. It's nothing but the what is it? What's the? I keep wanting to say oligarchy, patriarchy, feminism, LGBTQ. That's this movie, aka Powders. This movie is a woman empowerment movie. This movie, at times, feels like a woman struggling. It doesn't feel like a boxing movie, but the boxing is just a mechanism for this Christy girl to make a living, to get out of where she is. No one in her life has her back. Now, a lot of times in boxing movies, we get the metaphor, and I'm all here for it. I sit down to watch a boxing movie for the boxing in the ring, the sport itself, to be a metaphor for that person's life. It's a little bit what makes Smashing Machine a little bit eloquent compared to Christy. And the two movies, we can watch the two movies back to back, and it'll just be a hell of a double feature. Because in Smashing Machine, there's more softness and sympathy towards The Rock's character. What's his name? I forget his name. Mr. Smasher, whatever. But AKA Powders, you should not sleep on this movie based on headlines and narratives and stories that you heard elsewhere. This movie. Now, here's the other amazing thing that happens. As of right now, in my social media feed, Sydney Sweeney in Euphoria is clipped. She's a dog. She's like a baby or something, right? Like, her sexuality is now all over my feed yet again. Yet again. So I have Sydney Sweeney's ass and boobs like in my mind. As an actress, you fall into this movie where you don't associate the two, you forget the two, you are watching her unsexualized, just like what they did in Reality. Go back, listen to the Reality episode. Reality, her performance in that HBO movie, based on the true story of Reality winner when she gets interrogated by the FBI. AKA Powders, Sydney Sweeney disappears into the role and does the work. David McCord, this is our David McCord, this is our co-screenwriter but director. Mariah Folks, man. Anyway, that's our other screenwriter. David here, I kind of want to do a Films Of episode because he has a filmography that we enjoy. And believe it or not, one of his movies, Rover, has been on my to-watch list for quite some time. That's with Robert Pattinson. They're fighting, and Guy Pearce. They're fighting over like a giant gold nugget. I believe it's post-apocalyptic. I'm watching his 2010 Animal Kingdom. That bled out that 6-season TBS series. War Machine that we discussed, we loved. The King we discussed, we loved. His movies, he's got a handful of movies underneath his name. And each one of these movies not only has prime Hollywood talent, he is a director. He is a director of stories. He's one of these guys, and I'm so grateful. It does seem with the male directors seem to have a short film filmography. This guy has short films for 11 years, 2000 to 2011. He also wrote Hesher, which is fantastic. With is he canceled? Did Joseph Gordon-Levitt get canceled? Because all of a sudden, Joseph Gordon-Levitt was at one time in nothing but good movies, and now he seems to be in no movies. This guy is one of our premier directors that we have. And just looking at his picture on Wikipedia, like, he seems like one of my guys. But AKAPADers, this movie hits on all cylinders. What stood out a few times was the amazing score. The music for this movie. Anthony Partus. He seems to be more of a synth guy, has more of a discography than filmography. There's times where he does like a little bit of a march theme, where it's just like, you know, like things are moving. There's all the mechanics, and it's almost like a thinking type score, but it's like perfectly fit of the day of the time, because we are in the 80s, we are in the 90s. That's the career that this girl spanned. Now, also, her real life boxing record, I did look it up because I know, you know, these things come to mind. She had like 60 bouts and like 50 wins, and like 38 knockouts or something. Like, she destroyed her competition. And in this movie, they say that she made the sport when she's going up against Ali's daughter. And we have to say she did. Now, the fight in this movie where she gets pushed into fighting underweight, I sort of remember that. I want to go back and see if that fight's on YouTube or not. But this is a movie of a woman's fight, a woman's struggle, not just for her place in the world, but also for her sexuality. And it's laid there perfectly. This is a great movie, AKAPADers. This is one of the great female girl performances. I know Hamnet got so much attention, but holy crap. And it's a shame on anyone that bashed this movie without watching it. This movie really captured me, and sometimes when that happens, it's like you're locked in, and this movie just turned the dial. Hell of a movie, great sports movie. AKAPAD, the film buff. Tomorrow's Friday, so be on the lookout for an independent movie. All right, I'll tease it. We have Six String Samurai, and it is a lush discussion because that film cannot be forgotten. I love you guys. Rock and roll.
Okay, that's a wrap.